Welcome to the Off Frequency podcast. We have Theo Webster, the number one electrician in the UK, taking it on by a storm. Interested to see. I've known Theo since I was in school. However, this is our 15-year catch-up because we haven't actually spoke a day since then. But he's up to a lot. The same year.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. So let's roll.
What house were you in?
I was, oh my God.
Wow.
Red.
Grenville.
Fucking, I forgot what they were called as well.
Were you South Mont boy as well?
Yeah,
No
it was
way.
in Raleigh.
Oh, get on.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna
You
be
guys are
interesting.
gone.
Yeah.
You guys are gone by the time we were there.
Really?
You're 5 years older than me.
Oh, wow, yeah.
No, you must have been in year 7.
Would have been in year 11. You would have been. No, no way.
31, 26. Maybe you. Okay. Fucking hell.
No, we would have just left.
Yeah.
You were long gone, mate.
Yeah.
You were dancing with girls in Fever, mate, when I was fucking
Dancing, mate. I was fucking 2 fingers deep in a. I don't know. God, it was nasty.
You regretted that comment immediately, didn't you?
No, I don't. I own everything. No, Tom. Like I said to you, once you get to certain ages, Theo, you know, once you take full accountability for everything in your life as a man, things get easier. But what should the guys know about you? Tell us a bit about. Go back a little bit. How are you the man you are today?
Crikey. I mean, I don't think I'm anything out of the ordinary. I'm just an average guy that was lucky enough to get an apprenticeship in an electrical installation company. And I very quickly sort of found a passion for it. I thought I was quite good at it as well, to be honest. And then moved around a little bit for a few years. And then at 22 years old, set up on my own. And it's been a bit of a crazy journey since then, but I'm sure we'll get into that. It's, had a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
Yeah, well, what's the lows? Let's do the lows.
Gosh,
Everyone likes the lows, though.
I mean, money's a big one. You know, running your own business in general brings a lot of financial stress and balance and everything else. But suddenly, when you throw in other business into that mix, and the control is taken out of your hands, it gets fucking really hard.
Yep.
And
the uncertainty in it.
The uncertainty, you know,
kills you.
When I was about 20, 25, 26, so COVID time.
Yeah.
I took on a massive contract worth a lot of money, grew my team with 13 people working for me.
Okay, now.
And that job ended up going tits up, big time. Well, not for us. We did well, but the main contractor had issues and with the client, and they were behind. We finished, didn't matter. They didn't. And then I lost like 70,000 quid that I never got because they had to liquidate. So
what you own? What about the 13 chaps?
I made sure they all got paid. Yeah, everybody got
hell.
paid. All my wholesalers got paid because I I wasn't a limited company. In a young, naive, ambitious, whatever else, and perhaps misinformed. And so the buck stopped with me. Big time. I personally owed these people money and these businesses money, so I made sure everybody got paid, and I was left with fuck all.
Well, let's just talk about that because it makes for a good story. But when you're actually 70k deep, and all these people are coming to you because you've gone from you're self-employed, but you've got these people relying on you for their livelihoods, and this big you promised them this big contract, and it's all exciting. Yeah, you just sleepless nights.
Do you know what? At the time though, I was so cool about it. And I've spoken to so many people about this before, and it's like at the time I genuinely, you know, I loved the work. That's the people that worked for me. They were like a byproduct. I wanted the job. I needed them to be able to do what I wanted to do, and I never thought about it that I'd have a bigger business and all this was going on. I never really thought about the fact that I've got to pay out 60 grand in a month in freaking wages and everything else. I never thought about any of that, or that there was 13 mortgages that you're paying essentially, and families you're feeding and everything. I never thought about any of that. I just loved what I was doing until it started going wrong. And then you think, holy shit, this is like major problem territory now.
You suddenly work out the pond you're in, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, thought I was well on top of this.
Well, I never, but looking back on it, like the whole project, like as a value from the whole construction side was like, it was massive, over £200 million project.
Blimey, right.
And I took on a sixth of the electrical side of it, just as a labour-only contract. And I was like small fish in a very big pond. I was the smallest contractor on site by like a long way. You know, there was so my team was 14 with me. I think there was about 400. No, yeah, I think there's 400 tradesmen on site in total. You know, we were there for about 18 months, something like that.
Christ.
And yeah, so I was like nobody, except I smashed it. We did a great job. We finished what we needed to do. I handed the keys in ahead of schedule. But
how did you win that contract?
By impressing one person about 6 months before.
That's how it goes.
We were talking about seeds
weird,
yesterday. Like
planting
little
seeds.
Somebody they had a job in Exeter again. There's a massive railway yard, huge green building, GWR building. It's enormous. They use that to repair the trains and things like that. It is massive. But he had this contract on that job. It was worth an absolute fortune, and he was just looking for subcontractors. And I got the call. I went down, so I was just a bod on site, and I was just doing stuff. But I did things properly, quickly. Anything I was asked to do was done. They ended up giving me, in all truth, I had a lot of the shit jobs because they knew I would do them properly.
Yeah.
Because
that's how it goes.
other people just don't want to fight. They're not interested. Whereas I was like, I don't care. If I'm making money, I don't care what I'm doing, really. You know, if I can just get stuck in and just go on, I'm fine. And yeah, so he just phoned me up like 3 months later and was like, I've won this. Do you want it?
Look at that.
And yeah, it was fucking mad. It was. I immediately it was like, yes. Without even fucking thinking or looking at it. Yeah, I'll do it. And
but at that age, I feel like that's the best business people get to business when they're at the most reckless. Then they learn to come back from that, because you don't want to go into you don't want to. I know a lot of business people who started very jaded, and then they were too cautious, like so cautious and no risk, that then they get like 5 years in and they've made no progress. But it's like you've got to be a knobhead.
Yeah, you do. You make silly, uneducated, uncalculated decisions. Whereas now I'm still ambitious, and I still like to. If I see something and I think, "Oh, that's sexy," I will look at it deeper before I go for it. But I'm already thinking, I'm going for it, right? No matter what, you know. But yeah, I think, like I say, you've got to be a little bit reckless. If you're too cautious, the opportunities you can miss are like massive, absolutely massive. And I've missed massive opportunities in the past because of what happened. It made for a couple of years, it made me really standoffish about everything, and I've missed some massive opportunities. But I don't regret anything, you know.
And you got to give yourself credit for putting yourself in a position to actually win that contract in the first place, going through to the end when people would have, at some point, you knew it was going bad.
Oh yeah.
Before.
Well, you start hearing things, you know, from other people, other contractors. Suddenly, people are getting counter charges, and you're talking big numbers.
How much are you looking at? I guess because I used to have that when I did this concrete stuff, because we do they have a project for Asda, and every day that it went over, obviously Asda should have been in there selling all their goods and produce. So fines, man.
I can't remember my exact figures, but I know for the main contractor, we were working. Well, I won't say who we were working for, but it was in Exeter again. The main contractor, every week they went over, they were fined £2 million. Yeah, and that then got filtered down to everybody in their sort of
respective fields,
increments. Yeah, depending on who you were and what role you had, everybody got these fines in the end. So I ended up having like a bill come through for like 30 grand. So they owed me this 70 grand. I had a bill for 30 grand. And I said, bollocks, I don't owe you any of that. Some of it was justified. So I emailed them back and said, I'll pay you £6,000 because I believe that's what I owe you. And they come back and said, not a fucking chance. So it all went to court, and I think we ended up settling on 10 grand. So I paid them £10,000 and then never got the fucking 70. So I was 80 grand out of pocket, really.
Fucking double whammy.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, that was like a proper kick in the teeth. If I'd held off a little bit longer, I'd have still had 10 grand at least. Yeah.
So what? Straight off the back of that, then, what was the next? You just been sunk out of 80k pretty much, and then what?
I was looking at two or three other massive projects, and it really just, I had to like regroup, I paid all this money out to make sure everyone was happy and all that, and I had nothing. Like, you've got to have a bit of a backup cash flow. You need something there when you've got that many people working for you. So I'd made the decision, I'm going to cut this right back. I think I went down
Mm.
to 5 guys, and so I pulled out of two or three like major contracts. Sorry, and I'm glad I did because I think all 3 of them went fucking horribly wrong.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
so
would
I
just lost
dodged
anything
three
everywhere.
bullets.
That's
Yeah.
enough to put you right in your ass.
I'd have
3 in a
been
row.
in the ground, I think.
Well, that's all,
Well,
that's
you
all
know
the
what?
staff going, Theo, you're the worst person for choosing jobs I've
Yeah.
ever seen. You just
It's
lose.
not. This is the thing, though. You, it doesn't matter who you work for. You know, that contractor on the one where I took for 70k. They're an international contractor. They've got 300,000 employees. Massive business, and that gives you a certain level of security in your head. You know, these guys aren't going anywhere. Yeah, they're almost untouchable. But I don't know. You kind of overlook at how that can indirectly affect you as well. It's just
Especially when you're just a little number.
oh fucking small
And
fish.
they're just like, fuck, do what you want, mate.
Yeah.
Try and sue us if you want.
Yeah, but they've got they've probably got 500 people in the fucking legal team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
You know, I no chance can I compete with that. So yeah, madness.
And that's the problem. It is to them, it's small money.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to work up, and that 70 grand's a lot of fucking dough.
Oh,
I mean, if you
massive
look,
amount of money.
you know, and I think,
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
you know, for me to then pay that out, you know, whatever it was I ended up having to pay out to the contractors and wholesalers, that comes out of profit.
right?
Do you know what I mean? That's money I've had to have previously made to be able to cover that. So it's not just that 70 or 80,000 pound you've lost. It's fucking it's almost double that really.
Mm.
In fact, probably more than that because I've then got to try and recoup that.
Yeah.
So that figure just fucking balloons and becomes a much bigger figure when you put it in perspective of everything you've lost, what you've paid out, and what you then
Time.
need to regain to recover what you'd lost. So it's fucking insane. Like
How many contractors do you think get stung like that? Because the industry is kind of known for it, right?
it's insane. Yeah, nothing gets done about it though. Nothing gets done about it. You know, limited companies, you know, they're relatively secure. You know, and if things start going wrong, they just go, oh fuck it, we'll just shut down. And it doesn't, and they don't care how then it affects other people because they could start up again the next day, and it's all relatively safe for people. You know, apart from anyone who's a sole trader, then feels the brunt of it, like me. And so yeah, construction is really bad for it, really bad for it. You know, there's no loyalty, no trust anymore. Going in with the price, you know, it's fucking pointless pricing the job now because they're arguing with it once you start. And it's like, well, you know, if I give you a price to come and do some stuff in your house, Ruben, yeah, you're going to agree to do it on the basis you can afford to do that,
Yes.
right?
And I trust the
how it
like
works.
that. You
And
want
you
to
trust me to come in and do a good job, or
Yeah.
whatever else. But it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that.
Do you mean is that for every kind of job, or is that just more the big ones you're talking about?
I'd say the bigger scale commercial stuff.
Okay.
Not so much domestically. You know, when you're like dealing with Doris in her house or whatever, you do still get that. You know,
Yeah.
people try and just
No, because her son can do
chances.
it cheaper.
yeah.
Yeah, he's looked on YouTube.
Oh, it's the
And,
ones that say as soon as you get there, they're like, I could have done this myself. Well, fucking crack on, mate. I don't need you telling me how much better than me you are all the time. Christ almighty, yeah, it does my head in.
And I think that's the problem with the internet. Like, you think about how much things have changed since we started out,
Yeah.
you know, in just doing careers. But
Oh,
the 10 years you've been in it now, haven't you? Pretty much self-employed.
Yeah, self-employed 10 years, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kudos to you, mate. Because, I mean, if you think about it, most businesses fail after, self-employed people, everyone, the freedom and what it's going to be and this and that. And if you think,
What's that?
you know, yeah, what is that really? So yeah, how has it changed? Do you think now, if you're young chaps watching this, and obviously you've created a really big brand, haven't you, online? So people are going to be, what would you say to the young chaps that are looking to go out on their own? Because I think it's got to be harder, isn't it? Economically, everything's more expensive, so taking the risk.
Yeah, the economy is in a shit state at the minute, so it's a massive risk. You know, when I did it, I was at the time my I don't know, fiance or wife, whatever she was. Now I'm not with her anymore, but you know, she didn't work. We just had a daughter, and I suddenly walked away from a fixed income, you know, reasonably good income as well, to having no income. I think now that would be a very silly decision to make. At the time, I think it was, but it worked. I don't know if I got lucky or what, but just grafting, work hard, you know, it does
create your own luck.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, now, I mean, you need to have a little bit of money behind you. You know, good family support as well. Make sure people actually, you know, they believe in your passion as well and what you want to do, because you're going to need it, because it's going to be a lot of late nights and, you know, missing kids' birthdays and all this sort of stuff that you don't really think about. And the whole freedom thing is rubbish. If you think you're going to have freedom going self-employed, it's not true. So I explain it to people like, you know, I went from having one boss to having 500 bosses.
Yeah.
Right? Your clients are your boss, whether you like to think of it like that or not. At the end of the day, they control your income. You know, they choose whether they do or don't pay you. They dictate sometimes the hours that you work. You know, there's so much that they have control over that you don't. So yeah, freedom is a load of bollocks. Don't get me wrong. When you get later down the line, like where I am now, perhaps I can enjoy things a little bit more. You know, I've got a really good core client base that pays me well, and I can afford to have a holiday, come in and do stuff like this. You know, and you know, I can do things that I want to do more. But that first, I don't know, 3-5 years is gonna be fucking hard. Like really, really hard.
How many people do you think are actually prepared for that?
I don't think anyone's prepared for it.
Maybe not the right way to say it, prepared, or...
You mean how many people have got the minerals just sit into fruition?
That's a better question.
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of people think... So again, thinking about people that have worked for me, you know, and money is a hot topic all the time. You know, people will come and ask for pay rises and that because they see what you're making. Yeah, they're like, oh, you're making bloody good money. I should make a bit more money. Yeah, but you don't see that I'm at home doing 4 or 5 hours of paperwork every night and this and that and everything else, you know. So
it's the responsibility of that. You've taken on that work, providing the work.
Totally.
The buck stops with you.
Absolutely.
And that's how it should
work. If that contract goes wrong or if you fuck something up, I'm financially responsible, not you. You know, it all comes back to me. And like from the health and safety side, you know, someone gets hurt, you know, or dies, God forbid, I go to prison.
Yeah.
You know, it's every single thing they do directly reflects on you. So I don't know. I don't think it's not for everybody. Definitely not.
There's a naivety, isn't there?
I don't know. 1 in 100,000, maybe even bigger than that.
I'm glad it's actually a real figure, that is, because most people. I think there's a thing now on social where you think everyone's a fucking entrepreneur, and everyone's got like the next big thing, isn't it? It's a bit like, or it's just
What do you think your ratio is, in terms of how rare do you think you are?
He's one in billion. Ruben, I reckon.
If you had to be honest, what do you think it'd be?
Well, I don't want to make it's a bit in it, but I don't think there's many.
No, it's not. It's fact.
You're just wired. Well, as you get older, you start to notice how your thinking is a bit unique, or the work hours you're willing to put in. Because you look at every job I've ever had is like bare minimum.
Oh, totally.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I want a bit more. What does that mean? Well, you're not going to get luck unless you're some sort of, you know, genius, right? And you can just, you know, I see on the other day, like an Indian chap, he's moved to Dubai and he's making about 10 grand a month. Okay. And he's 21 years old. And he says, I want to be a millionaire this year. He's on track. And he's doing software and all this stuff. Most people aren't going to, look, we're not coding. We're not, it's a different language or whatever. So you look at your skill set and go, okay, but in that sense, I think there is the free thinkers and having this bigger awareness and the grafters probably is quite rare. And like, I see you, and I get straight away. That's why I was really looking forward to this conversation, because when me and Tom have a little thing, and when we started working together last year, we've got this little bit of like rivalry of who's going to outwork each other. But it's a bit of a sick thing as well, really.
I compete with myself.
Well,
I look
good answer. Good answer.
Year on year.
The thing is, I think what I do is make sure that I surround myself with people who are as good as me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
and because that means I'm not the best anymore.
Yeah,
because that's what happened. But if all of us were plonked, this is not being arrogant. If all of us were plonked in most scenarios, we probably would dominate because of attitude and mindset, which is the two main drivers for success. Yeah. However, what I want is to be around people who make me look a bit shit if I have a bad day.
Push
do you know what I mean?
Excel,
and it's just that like continuous
ego takes a play otherwise, doesn't it? Then you're like, I'm the fucking best here.
You can't ever have that.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of sales lads who want to be like they want to be the best all the time, but they don't want to ever feel like it's possible to be better than them. You know what I mean? It's like a weird distinction. They want to be like, well, I'm the only one that could have done that. So such a dangerous attitude, that, because you'll get found out real fast.
Yeah, true.
And
yeah.
that's what I wondered, what you thought your ratio was. Like, because how many people, that's a good question. How many people exactly like Theo or you have you met? Do you know what I mean? Genuine. It's hard. It's actually hard to think. It's not. It's not loads.
Yeah,
it's not
loads, but it's because we're in our own lane to a degree. Like, it's a great answer from Theo, because there's still an element. I think Socrates said, comparison is the thief of joy, and everyone is doing that. And I did it for years and years, and only recently you start to go, am I better than yesterday? Me.
Yeah.
So when did you? I guess you only learn through all your mistakes you made, but when did you learn do you think the mindset you have now and the outlook is that's been formed, obviously? Because obviously when you started out at 22, and you look at yourself now, do you look back and go, fucking hell, like, different person?
I look back at myself at sort of 22, 23 with quite proudly. I mean, I've worked so hard, like, thinking about it, like, I worked every single hour, 7 days a week, and I was working 14, 15-hour days every day, every single day, for years. I did that. I like I said, I missed daughter's birthdays, Christmases were a given. Obviously, I had Christmases off. Still do call outs though. Yeah. Like, even when I went on my honeymoon, I was on the phone every single day for the lads that I had working for me. Every single day, 2 weeks, I'm on the phone. Wherever I was in the world at that time, I was on a 2-week cruise. And I was on the phone every single day. It never stopped. And I think it was amazing. Like, looking back, I don't know how I did it, really. I don't know where that drive or ambition came from.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
It's always been in me.
Did it come from was it just something that you? Because Rue and me have got very different motivations, drivers, because we've got different backgrounds. The thing that I see the most common is people are moving forward because they're like running away from something.
Yeah.
Not actually the other way around, where they're trying to run towards something. They just want to run away from whatever that was. So I did actually wonder which camp you came into, whether it was like something that happened and you were like, I can't be like that, or it was, I just got to get it.
Things changed over time, as you do, relationships and everything else. I think initially it was like I genuinely just had a real passion for what I was doing, and I wanted to build a good life for my family, I suppose, for my at the time wife and my daughter. Later on, like I said, relationships change, and I probably was more going to work because I didn't want to be at home. In all truth,
very common.
That's fucking honest.
Happens a lot, doesn't it? That?
Me and my wife, we toward the end, we just really didn't like each other. Yeah, I don't think we should ever have been together. We got together very, very young, very young.
So you don't really know each other. Was it? When did you actually get together? How old were you?
So she was 18, I was 21.
Yeah,
and
I'd
only been seeing her a couple of months, and she got pregnant with my daughter.
Oh shit!
So it was like deep end. Like I said, I would never take my, wish my daughter away. But under different circumstances, things would have been.
It's an honest thing to say, yeah.
But
no sugarcoating, is it? It's like
no, not at all. I love my daughter
like,
bits. She's 10 years old now. Nearly 11. It's like.
And you get the benefit of being a young dad.
Yeah, that is cool.
I know.
Yeah, it means you can still beat up. You can still beat them up.
Well, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
When she's 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just start hitting the gym.
They're like, fucking hell, this guy. Yeah.
But yeah, well, a lot of my friends now. They're all like now at this age getting married, having kids, and I'm like, I've fucking done that a long time ago.
You want to go out?
Like, yeah, literally, yeah. Single at 32 is very different from
22,
20 years old
when
I was before. It's crazy, like it's so different.
In a good way or a bad way?
Yeah, great way. Well, I think it's from my perspective, it's better, like because you have a better understanding of people. And like your communication skills are better, understanding of people, empathy, everything else. I've got money.
Yeah, that helps.
That helps.
Your bullshit detector's high.
Yeah,
so
totally.
You don't settle for like bollocks.
Again, though, having been in business for 10 years, you can read people. You get a feeling for someone. You're like, this guy is full of shit, or whatever. And likewise with going out meeting women, you can get a feel if they're trying it on for other reasons or whatever. And so
No, it's
And
good.
you know yourself. You know yourself. Whereas when you with your your ex-wife, you don't know yourself, do you? Until
No. Well, we
What do you know at 21, mate? You're
Yeah,
a
fuck
fucking
all.
idiot at 21. Like,
we grew up together, but grew apart because we didn't really know each other, not properly. You know, you're in that honeymoon stage and everything's just so fun.
you didn't know
he
yourselves
is.
either, really.
Is
That's
that
where
what
he
it
is
is?
now. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
why
sort
he's
of, I'm sick
smiling.
of hearing it. Whereas it's just, oh yeah, look, oh she's amazing, and
Okay.
Yeah. I can't deny it.
they're on holiday together in Gran Canaria this Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we've got one of the busiest periods we're going through because we're trying to scale this thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking off to Gran Canaria. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
the thing is, I trust my ability so well that I know what I've already done is good enough. It's good enough.
All right, well, I'm going to call you every day,
Call me
and
every
I'm going to
day.
give you a to-do
Phone's
list.
on. Phone's
He'll
on.
answer though,
I will.
Yeah,
because
he
he's
will.
that guy.
He
I will be
yeah.
answering. I'll be going, root. I've already done that, mate. And Josie's in the background going, fuck this relationship. What's the point? And I'm like, yeah, hang on, I'm in a meeting. Yeah.
But to come back to you, honeymoon period is
I
it's
just
one of the
think-
best.
I-
It's one
but
of the best
again-
times ever, isn't it?
Again,
It
we,
is good.
It's
It
amazing.
is good. Yeah.
Me and Bill often joke about it. It's like I think we sometimes said like, what was our sex like when we? Which time shit? I just remember I was on screen then. It was so the conversation was rolling.
no, finish
But,
it. We
yeah,
wanna
no,
hear it
no. We were
now.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
go on,
you know,
yeah.
and it was like that first initial finding each other out. There's an amazing, not just sex, by the way. Obviously, getting
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know each other and having those wonderful
But
experiences.
sex, yeah.
But sex, as you'll get to know, the Off Frequency podcast often talks about sex weirdly.
Sex heavy,
Um,
it shouldn't be.
But no, that must be quite exciting now. You know,
And you got so much
32.
life left. That's the great thing about it. Is people like
Yeah,
30
I mean, you know,
is so
I've-
young.
I've got time that I can, if I wanted, I could start another whole family. I could do it all again comfortably.
Yep.
I don't really know what I want to do, to be honest, whether I want to do that again or not. But you know, it's nice to have those options. That you know, my life isn't over. I can
Fuck,
still.
you know.
I can
Well, you've lived a whole life. Most people get to 30 and start thinking about their life, whereas
Yeah.
you've got to 30 and you sort of already lived one. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's almost like
crazy.
you're
Yeah.
a decade ahead.
Yeah.
In a
it's,
way.
it's bonkers. Yeah.
So what motivates you now? Because
Um,
that's the someone else said this to me about 30. No, he's just turned 35 and he was like, mate, the drive I had 10 years ago is so dead. And
Really?
he's like, he had to pull back his entire company, similar to you,
Yeah.
at 35 to be like, what motivates me now? Because it definitely isn't what motivated me yesterday.
no, totally.
So what is that for you now?
For me, I mean, money always plays an issue. You know, a factor in it. Obviously, you know, we all want to make good money and have comfortable lives. But I think beside that, just doing what I enjoy.
Do you still enjoy it?
100%.
Yeah.
I genuinely love what I do. Like, which might sound really odd to someone who doesn't work in construction. Like, how can you love doing that? But I do. I genuinely love it. I love meeting people. I love the graft. You know, I love, like, I don't want to be, I'm not one of those people where I think, oh, I want to build, I'm not anymore anyway, I used to. I don't want to build a big company and end up off the tools. I love being on the tools. You
What's
know,
to be said
and
for
I
that?
can make good bloody money doing it.
Yep.
Because I've put myself, so again, you know, it's all well and good being a grafter, working silly hours and all that, and, you know, putting your name out there and making a good impression, but finding a niche, and then you're going to really excel. You know, find a niche in the market where I can suddenly I can work half as many hours for the same amount of money or more. And that's where I find myself now. I've got myself in with a few businesses across the UK, and it just fucking pays dividends for me that I can not work half as hard and earn the same or more money. And it's fantastic. You know, I did a job the other day, and it's a reasonably niche market. And the reason I excel in it is because I've made myself like indispensable to that company, because I'm the only person they've ever come across that can turn it around in the time I can turn it around. You know, they call me up, we need you tomorrow, Theo, because such and such has happened. I will cancel whatever the fuck I'm doing and make it happen. And, you know, like, so the day before I flew off to Rome, I think I made like $2,500 in a day. In what,
Bosh.
4
Wow.
hours? It was 4 hours work.
Unreal.
4 hours work. That was after my expenses.
Beautiful.
And everything. So it's, you know, it's cushy. But that's like, but I've put myself in that position. I've worked really fucking hard.
Yeah, you don't just
to
get
make those
there.
relationships.
Yeah, you don't just get
It's,
there.
You know, don't get me wrong. I don't make $2,500 every day. You know, I don't do that, make that kind of money every day. But I'm
You
in
got to be
position
careful what
where-
you say on a podcast, don't you? Because then suddenly you start people going, that
Well,
wasn't what you. That's not what you.
that AI HMRC's coming in, isn't it? They're going to figure out, oh, you're on holiday every day. How are you?
Yeah.
You're only earning 12,570
There's
quid.
got to be a way around that.
Yeah, literally.
There's got to be a way around that. That can't happen.
Every trade, yeah.
That can't happen.
Don't worry,
No.
we'll figure it out. But yeah, so it's
It's
I mean, that's
crazy.
a good-
but yeah,
yeah.
it's
But are you just shit hot at what you do? Though I mean, because I see
like
that
to think I'm good
competition
at what
you've
I do.
done, and you're like,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you won. It was like a big competition, like loads of people entered, and you had
I
the
did.
fastest
I've
time.
done loads of things, yeah, all sorts of stuff. Like when I was in my younger years, I got involved in electrical apprenticeship competitions. Did really well at that. Got sort of talent spotted and went off to like train on behalf of the UK for a company called World Skills. And I got selected to actually represent the UK in what they call the Trade Olympics. It's actually a thing. It sounds fucking like a joke, but it's actually a
That's
thing.
amazing.
I didn't know that. That's
Um,
mental.
So the UK is the only country that doesn't televise it. Around the world, Europe especially, it's massive.
It should do, shouldn't it? It's
I
our
don't
biggest
know
industry.
why the UK doesn't show it off more, because it's incredible. You know, it's a trade-based competition. But when I say trade, that covers a lot. You know, beauticians, they're a trade.
Right, I
Right,
see.
it's massive competition. Aircraft technicians.
So what did you have to do? You had to rewire a house almost. Said
Well,
then, to do
it depends on what country it's taking part in that year. So the year I did it, it was going to be Sao Paulo. So you then work to the standards of that country. So you end up training using their materials to their standards, and you build like massive electrical rigs,
Wow.
you know, or whatever. And yeah, it's bonkers. It's insane. You're being trained by like the best. You know, I was being flown over to Northern Ireland like every other week for like 6 months training, just
That's
for this
unreal.
competition. I ended up having to drop out because my daughter was born 6 weeks early.
Wow.
But yeah, it was. Other than that, it was a fantastic time of my life. But yeah, like now, I just go and do. You know, there's like trade shows all around the UK all the time, and if there's a little competition there, I'll jump on it. I'm like, this is my time to shine.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I quite often, like a lot of them, I am pretty high up on the leaderboard, if not the top.
Have you always just had a knack for? Because what would you say makes a good? Because I genuinely don't know. Obviously,
Well,
you've got
what makes a good sparky?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just taking the time to actually like understand the materials, I guess. Like if you want to really, right, the way I was always taught as well, particularly with that world skills thing, is like one tool, one job. While you've got that one tool in your hand, everything you can do with it, do, because it's valuable seconds saved of putting something down, picking something else up, picking down, picking something else up. So if you ever watch one of those videos where I'm doing like a race wall, if I've got the cutters in my hand, I will do absolutely everything that I can do with them at that one point before I then move on to the next thing. Whereas a lot of people they'll concentrate on like the low level socket, they'll strip it back, terminate it, screw it all back, and then move on to the next bit. So you're constantly losing seconds here and there. And I apply that to my day-to-day work in the same way. If I know I'm doing loads and loads of conduit work, if I need to make up loads of lengths of the same length of pipe, all threaded with the same boxes, whatever, I'll do it all in one go, just because it's all time saving.
How simple but effective is that?
It is.
Think about
It's
it.
so
It's
simple.
similar
It's
to
so
what we
simple.
do in terms of working on the same task. If you're going to do emails, if you're going to do out,
Yeah.
calling, you just do it. Don't if you start multitasking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah.
So you're losing. That's the thing. I guess for you, it's like every second you're saving, maybe minutes you're saving. It's like onto the next project,
Yeah.
or you become known for being able to turn things around quick, like this job you've done. Hence why you're getting paid in that niche quite a bit of money.
Yeah, but also like alongside that, then I've reinvested money that I've made into tools and things that make that even better again.
How much of the tool? How much are you looking at? What if you said what have you invested over the years?
What, into tools?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know, 150 grand, maybe more.
Fucking hell, that much?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an average house. Well, no, not anymore. 270, but that's like a house.
Yeah, I've put a lot of money into tooling over the years. Yeah.
Is that because you're a little bit obsessed with having the latest thing, or is that whether or the not saying
That's
But-
interesting. Way. I do like tools as well.
Yeah.
I enjoy that they can make my life easier, but I also see.
the
I
return?
think a lot of people exactly. Yeah, a lot of
Mm.
people look at the bottom line. They go, "Fuck me, that tool is £2,000," but they don't take the time to evaluate how it's going to save them money. So I bought a tool. It was a conduit threader, electric conduit threader. At the time, my guys are there threading it manually by hand. Yeah, and I bought this thing. I don't know what it was, like 700 quid or something like that. And he was then suddenly doing in a day what was taking him a week. And he was costing me £300 a day. So
There
it
you
paid
go.
for itself within 2 days.
Why do you think the printing press caught on, mate? Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
You know,
We live in a industry where your tool is your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only thing I ever have as a tool is my personality to
Yeah.
win business. It's literally like
Which is why we're going under.
which is why he's skin and I'm skin. Because
We're trying to do this.
yeah, but it's funny, isn't it? How like in sales you're the only real shit you have. It's not emails or like outreach. It's just who you
it's
are.
you as a person.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
and if you fuck that,
Yeah.
same as you. Like if you fucked, I know that first job was fucked for you, but if you now fucked that niche one you had the other day that rang you and you just botched the whole job,
Yeah.
it's fucking hard to come back from that.
Oh, you can't.
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
we've been paying you a lot of money, mate, and you've just absolutely nailed our company to the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas you're so confident now, aren't you? I imagine if there's not many things that someone could throw at you.
I'll have a go at most things, yeah.
Mm.
And you learn how to deal with people as well, and
That's a big one.
you read a room. You know, can I get away with saying certain things? You know, is this going to be like a very, very corporate conversation? Is this going to be a bit more informal? You very quickly can understand who you're going to be dealing with and what Theo I need to be on that day.
Yep.
Sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Very good point. We have 12 different personalities, me and
Yeah.
Tom. Yeah, you have to, don't
And
you?
they
There's
all
business
hate each
owner.
other.
You go in some place, you're like, fucking hell, how am I supposed to mirror this?
Yeah.
This is going to be,
Yeah.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's take
Definitely.
it on.
I think that gets easier as you get older, though.
Yeah,
because when I was
yeah.
22, people just don't take you seriously, man. I used to turn up at people's houses or businesses, and they'd always be like looking around me, like, "So where's Theo?" I'm like, "No, this fucking 14-year-old looking motherfucker." Like, because up until about like a year ago, I looked 14. All right,
I was going to say, yeah,
I looked 14, and yeah, so you've always got those other little things that make things hard for you, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can, personality. Like,
You
I
have to,
genuinely believe like the reason I win a lot of my work, not just because I'm good at my job, but because who you are as a person. I think
People
that
like
counts
you.
for so much.
If people don't like you, you
Yeah.
could be the best lecturers on the planet, and
Yeah.
they'll just be like, "Man, I'm not having that twat in
Yeah.
this building. Like,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want him here." And
Yeah,
I've seen some really good deals, like deals that would save people a lot of money, make people a lot of money fall through because the CFO was like, "Mate, I fucking can't stand him."
Yeah.
Like rang me, was like, "You sent the wrong lad, mate. Fuck
Yeah,
it." And I
yeah.
was like,
Deals off.
deal's off, because that guy went in like a fucking bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Mate, I don't need
There's no
you."
genuine, there's no sincerity about
connection.
people.
Yeah.
And also,
I've-
people don't see people as long-term relationships enough. They
No,
just see them
no.
as in and out.
Yeah.
And I always see, like, what's the actual external value of dealing with this person? Is it actually the money I'm going to make today, or is it the person you introduced me to in a year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
and that's like, people always forget the value of a contract isn't what you're earning on the day. It's what that leads to.
Yeah.
And it's without the right personality, people just don't see that. They just don't have that vision.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easy. It's hard to build, but easy to ruin credibility,
Mm.
isn't it? It's just fucking mental how hard it is to build, though.
Yeah.
Especially when you do turn up, and like, all right, and they're like, "Where's the boss, mate?" "Oh, it's me."
Yeah.
"Oh, cool."
I've been asked like loads of times. They're like, people like, you know, do you want to build the business, sell the business? But I don't think I can. I can't sell without me. My business is worthless.
Mm.
And I think that's a same for a lot of construction-based businesses. It is built around people. You know, the reason you get your clients and contracts and everything else is because of who you are. I truly believe that. And like, you know, I could try and sell, you know, if I had 10 people working for me, I could try and sell it as a going concern with essentially all you're selling is a fucking phone number, really, because half of those employees are likely to leave. And half of your freaking clients are likely to go, well, it's not who we're dealing with anymore. We'll go for, you know, someone else down the road, Steve down the road. And
Screw Steve.
yeah, fuck Steve. But yeah, so I think it's very hard to value like a construction business, unless it's, I mean, obviously like what's he called? Charlie Mullin. You know, he owned Plimco in London. Yeah, massive construction company. You know, they cover all trades, and you know, but that is like a time lasting business. It's been going for a very long time. Everybody knows the name, and they've got like 400 or 500 employees, and that they're not going anywhere. But it's when you're on like a small scale, 10, 20 employees, that's when you're going to see like massive changes, and I think it's not really worth anything. But
I guess you're more, if you think about it, when you look at the effort, effort and reward as you, up the sliding scale from you as a sole contractor to 5 employees to 10 to 20 and so forth, you probably realise after that big job as well, you sort of, fear takes over a little bit because now you're thinking, hold on, when you go into that, well, now it's probably you worked off of it, but because you're not in control, are you? And that's very difficult. Like for us, in like sales, you're going to get a deal over the line. You start to bring people on, and you go, shit, that deal's worth a lot of money. Do I trust this person?
Yeah.
They're going to be able to influence this person the right way.
That's something else I found as well. Like when you get into those bigger contracts, the margins just get so much smaller. I think, for me, not for everybody, but for me, the risk is not worth the reward. When you're doing that, like if I look back at what was going on when I was 25 years old, and I just don't think it was really worth it. I'm glad I did it because I learned a huge amount, good things and bad things, but I'm really happy as I am now.
Yeah, and I suppose when you're 25, someone says 70k, mate, that's all you hear, isn't it? That's literally the only thing you hear is, I've never had that much money in a bank account before.
Yeah.
So
because that job was worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact figure, but like I said, I was paying £60,000 in wages every month for 18 months, and we had loads going on. There was other stuff, extras, this, that, and everything else. So it was worth a lot of money. And like I say, you look at that bottom line, you think, this is going to make me. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't think about everything else. You don't think about how people let you down, and things go wrong and everything else, and yeah.
Do you think perhaps there's a long-term vision with you to become like a big name in your space and stay there? Do you know what I mean?
That's my plan.
Is that your drive?
The whole social media thing for me, sort of, I started it when I set my business up purely as it's advertising. Yeah, if I want to show off my business as much as possible, I need to be on all these different platforms and get the most eyes possible. In the last 2 years, that's become something very different, and I've become a personality, and suddenly it's not about Theo Webster Electrical Services, it's about Theo Webster as a person, whoever the fuck he is. And it's become a very different thing. And now I'm at the point, like this year, I'm like, okay, I need to put a bit more effort to that as well, because I want to be a name and a face in the industry, because there's money
leverage
in fucking social media too, boys, I tell you. Jesus.
I think also from an exposure, because we live in such a noisy world now.
Yeah.
Being someone that's on the tip of the tongue for a very specific thing like electrical work is just so powerful, because it's not like just being an influencer. Like there's people that are famous because they're famous. There's value in that, but there's value in like being the name of. You know what I mean? It's just such that will open more doors, because that's how you become. That is how you end up on a 250 grand a month retainer for the world's biggest companies to just basically just wax lyrical about their business.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it happens.
Because he's actually genuinely passionate about what it is he does. Whereas there's like people of fake manufacturing.
Yeah.
Authenticity gets thrown around. Whereas you actually, I've noticed, not that I've been stalking you, but some of your content, you come across natural, and it's not like there's no, you don't feel like it's a sell or that you're trying to push people. It's just like, I'm really passionate about this thing. I'm going to talk about it to the extreme. And some people go, why the fuck is he going to listen to about Milwaukee at all? And I've been looking, but you go, actually, some people are going to go, well, yeah, you don't need a small niche audience. You don't need to
me
take
and
on
my
the world.
missus have been watching marble racing on TikTok.
You're a sad, sad bloke,
we've been
aren't you?
watching the guy. This guy has like millions of followers. I shit you not.
Yeah.
He has millions of followers. He puts 5 marbles on a track that he's built, and he goes, "Pick your marble."
What?
And me and my missus will literally sit there and just be like, "I'm blue," and she'll go, "I'm pink," and then we'll just watch it, mate. He probably makes 15, 20 grand a month.
That's crazy.
Just from the
he's got thousands of videos, and each one of them's got
views.
like 2 million views, because people just like me and my missus are just going, "Oh, that's a good way to waste 35 seconds."
Crazy.
But that is how powerful it is now. All you've got to do is be just great at one thing.
Find your lane.
Find your lane and own it as well.
How have you found that journey? On the social media side, because you must quite a lot of mistakes in there as well, or just like
I mean.
brands and
the way I do it, I like you said, I just try and be authentic with it. You get offered as you get bigger, bigger followings, the more opportunities that get thrown your way. It's like crazy, but I try and keep a bit of authenticity and integrity about it. And I'll only work with products or brands I actually think are good, You know, it's all really good just taking the money and then just half-ass trying to sell something. But I think actually that has a negative impact on your audience as well.
Eventually,
know.
even yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't. I got no interest in that. I'd rather. I make good money in my day-to-day job, so I don't. It's not like I'm clawing out for money. Oh, £500 there, £100 there, whatever. You know, I'm not interested in that. You know, I was very, very lucky that sort of 2 years ago, Milwaukee reached out to me, and they are the biggest name in construction, the biggest brand you can possibly work with, and they reached out to me before I'd even worked with any other brand. It was
You
fucking
lucky
insane.
twat.
Yeah,
That is
insane.
unreal.
And so that was
Kudos to you, mate.
yeah, that was before I got the deal which I'm on now. So I'm ambassador for the UK part of Milwaukee, but this was from Milwaukee Europe. They reached out and wanted me to do some SEO videos for their YouTube channel, that's massive.
Yeah.
You know, we want you to be the face of these really important SEO videos that help push our products out. And it's like, fucking hell.
You
why?
just chucked all the DeWalt in a bin. Fucking dead.
Yeah. Can't say that. D-hood. But, it was bonkers. I'm like, you know, there's so many, at the time, I didn't even have sort of that many followers. Maybe, I don't know, 8,000 or something like that. And
They just liked you.
yeah, and I pushed their products anyway. Like I think that's one of the reasons I got the contract I'm on now is I was using Milwaukee and I was always showing it off, always in a good light. And I think that helped massively. Don't get me wrong, I was by no means chasing Milwaukee down.
And that's why it's happened, though, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
It's a byproduct of you being.
There's a guy online at the minute, and he's you know, TikTok, Instagram, and all that, and he does these videos. He's like, day 27 of buying Milwaukee until they give me a contract. Well, they're not going to fucking give you one because you're spending loads of money on Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Right?
Why would
The only one you're doing a disservice is yourself, mate, at the minute. It's
costing him a
It's costing him a fortune. But yeah, it's like, again, authenticity. I guess that's what they sound. You know, there's 15 of us now, I think, in the UK.
not many
that work for Milwaukee UK, and that's across all sort of industries. You got farmers, plumbers, electricians, builders, engineers, carpenters, all that sort of stuff. And but we're all very different in the way we show off their products, the way we do our content, the way we work. We're all like wildly different. And I think that's what they like. They've got such a diverse bunch that they're appealing to the masses. You know, you're picking up. If they could easily just pick 10 people that were super, super polished and professional. And the reality is that audience for that is limited. Whereas, you know, I swear. And
Yep.
don't get me wrong, I've lost brand deals because I swear.
really.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm like, I remember emailing one particular company back. They'd said, oh, we've been watching you now. This was after we'd already been talking. They're like, oh, you swore in one of your stories. And I'm like,
No way.
you want the what they actually did, that company as well, it was very specific to the electrical industry around safety. And I'm like, yeah, but you're trying to actually appeal to electricians, yeah? Not the public, not anyone else, specifically to electricians. So they're only going to take this advice or whatever you're trying to offer from someone in the electrical industry, yeah? And you're saying you're not going to work with me because I swore. And I'm like, one, I wouldn't swear in any work I did for you, yeah? This is just a story I've put up, just about my day-to-day work, yeah? And two, I'm just authentic. I'm just being myself.
Well, you think other
I'm not going to
electricians
make
don't
myself
swear?
smaller for you as a business. Do you know what I
So
mean?
it's not a safe space when you swear. Every electrician says on the site break, oh fucking what's on today?
Yeah, every tradesperson swears, and a trade site is far from PC. You know, as
What's
I'm
one of the
sure-
worst things you've seen?
So,
Come
oh
on.
God, I don't know. God, I don't know. I mean, it's a very fine line between bullying and character building.
Okay, yeah.
I can imagine, yeah.
Uh,
Well, I did
Yeah.
labouring for a year,
did you? Okay.
and that was with my mate, and we've just, it's just there's like no rules.
There is no rules.
There's just like,
Anything
he
goes.
would just throw a brick at me, and I'm like, oh, that's fair enough. It's quite funny actually, because it really hurt. So I just do something to him, and it's like, we can pay. It's someone's garden.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was 2 of us on the site, so I can't imagine what it's like when there's 500 people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It could just get fucked. Be hilarious though.
Yeah, like, you know, you see, just silly, like these are grown ass men just it's stupid shit. You know, like he'll fuck off to the toilet and you'll put an entire fried egg in his can of Coke. So when he comes back, it's just stupid stuff. Or he leaves his tool bag on site and you fucking nail it to the concrete floor. So when he comes in, he can't take it up. It's just silly stuff.
It keeps you through the day, though, doesn't it?
It 100% does. Tradespeople have got the best sense of humour. They really do. Although it can get pretty dark as well. It can get really, really dark. But it's, I think it's a great work environment.
It's definitely
I think
better
it's
than
difficult
being
when you're a kid. When you're like starting like 16 to 18 and you're not used to that, it can be quite, Jesus
intimidating
Christ.
a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's a 56-year-old bloke trying to fucking put filler up your shirt or something.
Yeah,
It's just like,
stupid stuff. But
that builds resilience, doesn't it? And your thick
100%.
skin.
100%. But at
That's
the
the
same
secret.
time, that's why we do have a great laugh. We all day to day you just have a great time.
And you have to, because it's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you said you work hard, and it's like, but there's actually I did a bit of labouring as well back in the day, and then various things. But I'm shit with my hands, and I can barely do DIY. I think Billy's better than me at DIY around the house, which I hate to admit. But I just wasn't made for it, and some of us aren't. So
yeah, I
it needs
suppose
your strength team.
I mean that's why I could never do like what you guys do. I'm very much a hands-on person, and I like making things. I like having something to show for what I've done, and I think it's lovely walking away from someone's house or a business and think, fucking hell, I did all of that.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Because it's satisfying. It's just
Very.
got real satisfaction to that.
Yeah, real satisfaction and
Bit jealous of that to a degree, actually.
yeah,
We think like the proper trails people that you love your work and you create something, you literally done that. You walk away, can't you? Whereas with ours, sometimes you're doing a lot of things where it's not obvious.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, totally.
So
Yeah,
it's a nice place you're in, really. And kind of like,
yeah,
Also, I'm looking forward to the new things that we're doing,
yeah.
because we're installing like £500,000 worth of kit, net zero, all that stuff. So there's like there's actually like a visual element to what we've been doing, because before it's been just like contractual stuff, and that's
your
fine.
numbers.
But then for example, we've just partnered with this company that does algae.
Okay.
And they take the carbon out of the air using algae, and it makes businesses carbon neutral because it's like,
A bioreactor.
photo bioreactor it's called. Anyway, it's amazing stuff. It's literally like this big luminescent green vat that's bubbling away.
Like Hulk's going to get out of it.
It's mental. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's just like did all that.
Yeah.
Sorted all of that out, and now they're buzzing. So yeah, I do like the physical side that we're moving into now. Actually, there is something very primal about that, being like,
So big HVAC and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I think there's going to be I think that's why I was saying to you before. I think about potential partnership, because it's just there's so much.
Yeah, Rue kept saying, he's like, you've got to get this guy on board. Got to get him on board. And I was just like,
I know a good thing. Well,
and it doesn't let it drop though. It doesn't let it drop. He hasn't let it drop.
No, I don't. Well, a lot of people, once you sort of, I think that's the other thing is, a lot of people, so the sale is in the follow-up.
Yeah.
You're very rarely going to get, and I don't think that matters what industry you're in, because everything is so competitive now. And the other thing, when you said you go see Doris or whoever it might be, they can go online, they can go on Check a Trade, all the different platforms you can use now. And so you've got, they've got this new information or new deal coming in. So you have to be able to influence them in that moment and get the deal. Just ask for the sale. Let's do it then.
Yeah.
And people need pushing along now, because they're sort of thinking, I'm not sure. But if you've got conviction in what you do and absolutely know you're going to do the best job possible.
Yeah.
Well,
And know that even if they went somewhere else,
Yeah.
you're not going to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because like that happens a few times where someone goes, as soon as someone says to you, look, no one else is going to be able to do this for you, the first thing that says to a customer is, I'm going to go check that.
Yeah.
And then they check and it turns out they could do it for half the price.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Theo Webster sat in someone's living room going,
Yeah.
there you go, mate, that's 50% off. And you go, oh yeah, I lied. But you just can't do that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you've built that on the fact that actually good luck trying to get someone else to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that job where I said, I made $2,500 a day. That the company that I do that for, they're a national company, a part of an international company, and they internally themselves are very difficult to get things approved. But the company they were using to do their sort of structured cable side of things, were quite a big outfit. There's just so much red tape to go through, and process and this and that. Whereas I can be very
Nimble.
proactive
Yeah.
and reactive, just to get things done.
Speed.
Yeah,
Velocity.
and that's what it's about. That's why I've worked with them for years now, three or 4 years, and I'm still there. Keep going. So
Okay, so so you're building the brand,
Kids.
and Kiddie Pops.
Business and
Yeah,
kids, that was
business-
it.
Yeah.
Young man, new business, new kid.
yeah,
Bosh.
How the hell do you take that on?
in the best way that you can. I mean, I think it's difficult to do either of those things, starting a business and having kids. Like, I don't think anyone can ever be prepared to do either. You just gotta fucking do it and see what happens. And I did them both at the same time, and it was it was a whirlwind of a ride. Yeah, I made a conscious effort because I was working such long hours and everything else. I made a conscious effort to try and do as much of the nighttime stuff as I could, even though I was utterly exhausted. It was the only time I got to spend with my daughter,
Yeah.
and it was like
Okay,
some
yeah.
of my most fond memories are those days, like just cradling her at night when she's up to 1 year old. It's beautiful. It really is. Like, you'll both hopefully experience that. It's just crazy, and because my day-to-day life was so like fucking hell, so chaotic and full on, and like couldn't catch a break. If I was on the move, I'd take that chance to eat and make phone calls and do this and do whatever. Like, there was no downtime. So when I'm at home and it's quiet and it was just me and my daughter, she's woken up in the night, she's crying, I'm in there straight away, and it was lovely. So I think I did the best I could with the time I was given. I regret certain things, like I said, missing birthdays and whatever else, but at the time it called for it, I think. And I was always been told by people, you need to slow down, but it's really hard when you don't know where the next paycheck is coming from, and what next week's going to look like, what next month's going to look like. So it's really hard. So you answer the phone and yeah, that's fine, I'll be there tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and we'll do that for you. And it's just how you live your life. It's crazy.
I don't think you see that unless you leave your 9 till 5, or you're not. Most people
Yeah.
take that paycheck from 18, let's say, or when they get into their job at 21.
Yeah.
You can't fathom what it's like. So if like I said before to you, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. And that's
Yeah.
that mentality, and then you've got this little one that's reminding you every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. And like, when I had the lads working for me, I was leaving the house at 6 a.m. every day. I don't know. Probably getting back at 7 or 8 p.m.
It's a long
maybe
shift.
later, and then I'd be on the computer until midnight. Go to bed, up again, just a constant cycle. That's just how it was.
But how's your relationship in that? Because people are going to be watching that are either starting their business right now, a
Yeah,
little bit for along the way. They've got maybe their missus, wife,
Yeah.
kids, whatever. What's the reality of that? Because I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that are maybe probably 40s and 50s that have
Mm.
made it,
yeah,
millionaires to billionaires, and they're having kids now at 40 or 50
yeah,
because it says, Ruben, good luck.
yeah.
They said, if you want this, what I've
Yeah.
got, that comes with that. So what's your views on that?
I mean, I can see that. You're a lot of those people who are millionaires, billionaires, in their 20s will have worked their arse off, day in, day out, and put their life on hold completely for this vision. And yeah, now they can enjoy things and they can have the beautiful holidays and the young wife and the whatever, have the kids and all that, and they can do what they wanted to do then, but instead they chose to almost sacrifice themselves for the end goal.
Yep.
And you almost do have to do that. I didn't. Mine sort of just coincided. They went along with each other, and both probably suffered because of that. I couldn't push myself to my maximum with my business because I had to make sure I had security for my family, and vice versa. I couldn't spend that amazing fucking quality time that you want to spend with your wife or your daughter because I was trying to fucking build this as well.
Yeah,
So-
you're not really there. You're present in the moment.
Yeah, totally. But you're thinking about other shit. all the time.
And how can you just switch off from that? Because all the things now is like this wellness and obviously mental health. You know, when we were kids and in school, it wasn't really talked about. You just get the fuck on with it, lad.
Yeah.
On. Now it's everywhere, and I do think it's a lot of it. You know, I feel for people with genuine problems, but I think a lot of it is everyone's got something now.
Yeah, definitely. We all deal with things in our own way, and in every aspect of my life, I've dealt with that side of things very, very well, apart from one. And because I lost my little boy back in 2018, quite late on in the pregnancy, and it was really hard to deal with, and I never really processed it. Sort of, it was emotional, obviously, very emotional. Still is very emotional, but I never spoke about it until recently. Like barely anybody in my life knew about it, and it was only because we started talking about it on site. It came up one day. Not specifically about me, but one of the lads had just lost a baby, and I think there was 5 or 6 of us on the table there, and we all been through something similar, and it was like a moment for me, like fucking hell, I've been suffering in silence for so long on this, really fucking horrible thing. When really, if actually we spoke about it as men, women as well, I think it's easier for women to talk about. I do think that it is easier for women to talk about. I think there's more support for women with that specific, with child loss and bereavement. But men typically just pretty really cool about it. But it definitely does affect you,
especially in the trade industry.
100%. Yeah,
you're around men.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? It's very it's a masculine field.
Men's men sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was talking about it the other day with somebody actually. It came up, but
it's actually very similar to fucking sales. Like there's a lot of similarities. It's like who's the best man today? Do you know what I mean? Who's the man's man today?
It's a bit of a weakness, isn't it?
I think you see it that way. Yeah, you see it's like a sign of weakness.
But it's not.
I'm an emotional man. Having a daughter makes you. It changes you.
Yeah.
All right.
Christ, I'll be in trouble then if it makes you more emotional.
Oh, you're gonna be a mess.
I'm soft. I'm a soft guy, and I'm very emotionally aware guy, and like. I think that's why I can connect with people quite well. But at the same time, I've always had this thing I've just very much kept to myself. And like, I don't really know why. I've just sort of felt like I need to just deal with that on my own.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And it's strange, yeah.
But it's like, what were your thoughts like? Me and Tom can't really, we'll never understand until we go through this. But one thing, with a lot of Billy's friends, they've now had kids. So you start to obviously look into these things more. And you don't realise how common it is.
So common.
Miscarriage. Yeah, really.
Yeah,
really
miscarriage,
common.
For a start, so common. Happens all the time.
And there should be more support for women, sorry to interject to a degree, because they're holding on to this thing inside of them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
For months on. I don't know what's the month where it goes wrong? I don't know.
It can change any month, can't it?
Any point.
It can go wrong on the day.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It can go wrong it can go wrong now.
My daughter, she was born 6 weeks early purely because my ex-wife had essentially got sepsis. So she was dying, and that transferred into my daughter as well. So it was a case of we need to do an emergency C-section now to have a chance of saving either of them. And luckily they both came through it. But it's mad. However incredible the human body is and what it's capable of doing, like fucking hell, it's pregnancy is just like this thing where anything can go wrong at any point, and it's like it's mad. But like I say, no one ever talks about the bad stuff, and it's understandable. It's really emotional and really hard to deal with, but it also then makes you acutely unaware that this shit happens when you're going through it. And it's it's a bit, I don't know.
Because your relationship as well, after something traumatic like that happens, together, you obviously come together. Yeah. Because our first guest, Anthony, he lost his lad. Yeah. And he had a thing, we got into drugs at 20, 21. Okay, yeah. And so then when he lost his, basically moments in life where it was really challenging, he went to that. Relapse, so they came together, and then he wasn't there. I'm sure he won't mind me speaking. He's sorted his life out now. He's a men's life coach. Okay. So you can either turn it into a positive, can't you? Which is he is done. But in those moments, that's a dark place, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's like there's huge amounts of it I've sort of just blocked out of my memory,
because it was so bad. It was so bad.
What do you feel like? So what am I asking? And what do you actually feel like in that when you just get told?
Fucking hell.
Probably can't even describe it, can you?
No. Like, because when we went to that particular scan, so we'd been for our 20-week scan, and they'd sort of said, "Oh, something's not quite right," you know. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't that. It was later on. I can't remember the exact week we were at. It was late on anyway, and we had another scan because she'd had issues, and obviously she had the sepsis thing with my daughter, so they were more cautious with her anyway. So we had this another scan, and they were like, "Oh, we want to send you to Bristol just for another scan." So we went up there, absolutely fine, and they told us then when we got there, they're like, "Yeah, your little boy's kidneys haven't formed properly, and blah blah blah, such and such," and it was just fucking. Because we didn't know. We didn't have a clue at this point. And I understand why they hadn't told us, because they needed to be sure. And it was just fucking devastating. Just absolutely devastating. And then, you know, because we were so far through the pregnancy, she had to go through the whole process of actually giving birth to him. They induce you, essentially, to give birth. It's just fucking horrendous. Yeah.
Couldn't be worse, that.
No.
Couldn't,
So
actually, you couldn't
yeah.
come up with a worse scenario to deal
Yeah.
with, could you? Like, so
It's
you
torture,
go,
innit?
Theo, deal with that one, mate.
Yeah, and then you're just driving home.
Yeah, back to...
And you're like...
Did you take time off? Or did you... Are you the sort of person that you think time off would help? Or do you think work saves you in a day-to-day?
Yeah, I think so. It gives me... It's a distraction, isn't it? I think we all need distractions in times like that. You know, obviously being there for your partner is important, but like I said, we all deal with things in different ways, and yeah, work is a bit of an escape for me, I think, with certain things. I can just sort of shut off from...
It's a different version of you then, in a weird way, having to deal with it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is that Theo professional?
That's my safe space. I know
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on. You know, I can control that. And then you get back and it's like uncontrollable emotion.
It's yeah.
And I guess that's what I think Anthony found. It's like when you're with that, you go through something like that with that person. You're reminding each other, aren't you? You're the reflection to each other of those experiences.
Yeah.
So I guess it must happen to a lot of couples, I imagine. And then you're running the business on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it
Not
just takes
easy.
its toll. And then, you know, you got other elements of your relationship as well that cause problems. And you know, for us, we came to I think a natural end. You know, there are other things going on, obviously, but yeah, I'm adamant that we should never have been together. But we made it work, and we made a go of it, and yeah.
And I think it's not like you had your daughter and called it quits.
No,
pretty much after that, you did try.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
there's a lot to be said for that. I think there's probably a lot of people that stay in relationships. My a family member told me, they stayed in relationship even though lots of things happened. I think that probably was more generational.
For me, it was very much like I would have stayed until my daughter was 18 because I'm from a whole family, and for me, that's just how things should be. And I think that perhaps it's probably quite close-minded, but at the time, it was like, for my daughter to have the best, that's what I need to do. But in the reality, it's not the case.
Not if you're not both happy with each other.
Exactly. And kids are not stupid.
No, and you do a lot of damage by trying to convince kids that everything's okay, because they learn, which is from your own experiences. You remember when you first start looking at your parents thinking,
I know, yeah, totally.
That weren't right.
Yeah, kids are very emotionally aware. They can, because they don't have their like judgment isn't clouded by all the things that we have as adults. They can see things for its raw reality and what it actually is. And they interpret that in their own way, but they're not stupid and they can understand these things. So if you are like fucking arguing late at night, all right, they might be in bed, but they'll be listening. And they won't say anything about it either. But they know things are going on, and kids are very clever, and they then typically would let that out in their safe place, which is school or with their friends, and then that's. So you, as parents, might not be aware of it, but they definitely are.
And then the dangerous thing is that the remedy, they are then trying to process that in an environment away from you and your partner, which then means you're then not in control of not the message, but you can't bring that therapy in house.
Yeah.
So they stop seeing parents as the safe space.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous spiral because it affects everything.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that you think you do. I think you've probably did the only right decision you had there.
Yeah. I think I like to think we're both happier. You know, we've been apart now for, I don't know, 18 months, I'd say, coming up to that. And yeah, I like to think, I know I am. I'm certainly a lot happier, and I'll be able to do things that I want to do for me. And yeah, it's good. Loving life.
Loving life, baby.
Loving life. Never look back.
You
Just
can't
keep
have the
looking
highs
forward.
without the lows.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's it.
And you
Definitely.
push on. And your relationship with your daughter now, you know, after all that,
Yeah.
is
It's
pretty
still
solid.
good.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's good as
You know.
gold.
Where does that put your head into having kids now then?
Well, there's quite a few different lessons, I guess, you take from that, or insights, you want to call it. A bit more, that's a professional way to put it. But, yeah, I mean, sort of, I notice I'm probably a bit selfish to a degree.
Mm.
You know, absolutely. And I think, you know, my parents, you know, split up when I was, so you said about, you know, primitive years, between the age of 4 and 7, it was just arguing. And I remember some of those horrific moments. And
Yeah.
there's part of me, even though, and everyone says to you, no, you'll be an amazing dad. I don't know what they see, but no, you're an amazing dad, and you're going to get on
Has anyone
everything.
ever said
Yeah, loads of people, mate. Yeah, strangers in
back to that
Tesco.
bloke
and-
under the bridge?
Yeah,
shouting
yeah,
at
he
you,
shouted-
"Ah, you'll be
yeah.
a good dad when they come in."
It was weird. I was on something at that point as well, so probably hallucinating. But no, and you go, yeah, and I'm sort of like, you just can't help but look at what's happened and what you've seen and go, oh, I might make those mistakes. But it's such a fear, you know, it's fear. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And the thought, I always want, like, finance is such a big thing for me because of the debt and stuff I got into.
Yeah.
So then I obsess over that. Like, there's no perfect scenario, but I want to be this, because it was, you know, 60% of divorce or relationship really ended because of finance. A lot of it,
Yeah,
especially when you
yeah.
have kids.
Yeah.
And so that was probably a big factor, because we were like, can we have a scooter, or can we have everyone's got these things? No, hold on, or, you know, just scrimping a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you have any of those moments where you had, because when you're starting out building the business, because you were the sole breadwinner,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was fucking hard. Impossible.
your ego must have been,
Yeah.
if your daughter's coming to you and
Yeah, and you know, you want to do your best and try and give people things. You know, and holidays. You know, I wanted my daughter to experience that. And it's just hard. Yeah, because I also probably a year after, no, in fact, the year I went self-employed. So I went self-employed in the March, April time of 2016. And September of that year, I got married. So not only had I got my daughter and no fixed income, I then had this massive financial burden of a fucking wedding and a honeymoon, which was insane. Like, absolutely, I was working my arse off just to pay for this. And, you know, like I said, we had a 2-week cruise as a honeymoon, which obviously isn't freaking cheap as well.
no.
You know, church wedding, big freaking family do and all this. And
Was that what you? Do you mind me asking? Was that what you really wanted, or was it kind of expectations set?
So my opinion on it now is very different to what it was then. I think
Yeah.
that's what, I think a lot of people, that's like, in terms of like ideology, that's what a wedding is. When you think of a wedding, that's what it is. You know, it's the white dress, church wedding, big family get together, and it's all show, money. And realistically, it goes from, it's not your day, it's a fucking big show for everybody else.
Yeah, 2
And
years
it
ago.
is.
Come
It,
mine,
it
yeah.
really, that's how I look back at my wedding. And now, I think, and I'm not against marriage at all. Would I get married again with the right person? Absolutely, definitely, I would. And I think it would be nothing like that. You know, it would be very.
Elvis Presley in
No,
Vegas.
no, definitely not. Yeah.
Mm,
No, it'd be very personal and very small, and only people who really, really, really are important to me. And because it's not about. I mean, it's lovely. It's lovely to have the big party with all your friends and family and everyone who you really, really love in your life. That's great, but I don't need that. I do that every other weekend. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think I'd just do it very differently now. But it was lovely, you know. It was lovely at the time, and I just, yeah, I don't know. I think it should be more about you and the other person than everybody else.
Yeah, as soon as it starts becoming this big political, like, oh, invite her, because if I don't invite her, then
Yeah.
I've got.
But you can't invite her because she'll fucking fall out of her, and such and such. It's just crazy. It's fucking ridiculous.
What do you think about wedding? I know you and Josie are early days, but
I never genuinely never thought want to marry anyone.
Why is that?
I was anti-marriage and anti-kids until Josie, really. So she's the first person I've ever been like, maybe I'll do it then. Maybe I'll do it. But
how did you get to the anti? Sorry, how did you get to the anti?
Living in reality, mate. If you take marriage as an institution, you take it as what it actually does. I've seen so many examples of. By the time I got to sort of 18, I'd seen 15 examples of it failing, and about 2 of it working. Yeah. I've seen what kids does at the wrong time to families. I've seen what the wrong kid does to the wrong family. Yeah. I've seen like you grow up with this like hyper awareness of where you are relative to where all your friends and family are, and then as soon as you start spending more time at your other friends' houses and stuff, you go, shit, it's bad, that's bad, or that's good. So I then grew up with this sort of immense sort of sense of, well, I can do everything by myself. Why would I sign a contract with someone which basically meant all of these things I've seen go wrong are more likely to go wrong because of marriage, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't realise until Josie that there's marriage can be a good thing. You know what I mean? There's a reason why people do it. Other than in my head, I was like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing? But it's because I'd never seen the
and it's the feeling you don't get there unless you have the feeling where you've got that unconditional love for someone.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I needed. I'm not someone that can be talked into something I don't want to do. So she literally. So it was a case of like.
Wait till you're married.
No, but
oh, you beauty.
Yeah, but I've only changed that opinion because it sort of fits she sort of fits every single box there.
Yeah, that's
where
nice.
I don't have to think like, these are going to turn into big problems if we're married. You know what I mean? Like,
I think but if you've got if you like you say, if you love each other unconditionally and you've got a good understanding of each other and you communicate well, you can work through anything.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have that. Our communication between us was shit. Yeah. Really, really bad. And our relationship in general probably suffered because of that and various other things. So, it's just, and having like I said, those similarities, but at the same time appreciating that it's okay for you to do your own thing and have your own space and have your own friends and
important
and all this sort of stuff. It is so important, and I value that more now than ever. Being able to, like, my friendship group is massive and sort of spreads across the whole of the UK and further afield, and they're all so different, and I love that.
You need that.
I fucking love that.
So
I've got these like. I can go and see whoever and do something and then go and see someone else and do something else. And I love that about my life. But I didn't have that when I was in my marriage because, when my business took priority, my daughter took priority, and obviously relationships took priority, and that sort of puts other stuff on hold. Like Tom Crook, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking hell. So me and him have sort of rekindled our friendship recently in the last 12 months. I bumped into him at a fucking petrol station. It was random as fuck. It was like so random. He pulled in behind me, and I was like, "No way!" Yeah, he looks exactly the same as he did at school. And then we were like, "Oh, we got to get together for a drink." We went out, and it was like we were 16 again. It was crazy. It was just beautiful, mad. Man. But I love all that sort of stuff, and I think it's just having your own space and your own friends is important as well. But all these other things, communication and all that, you need to be able to work on it. But like that honeymoon period can blind you on those things. That's why it's important to like not rush into things, I think. Like I did. We definitely rushed into things. But yeah, just take your time.
Yeah, and I've just got hyper, sort of bordering on delusional standards for everything. Like everything. It's like I am a fucking piece of shit to work with. I just am. I am because I've got a really distinct vision. And if things don't fit in with that vision, then they're terrible. But
life presents you with.
But I usually am right. I usually am right because it's like I know what's failed. No, but I know what's failed because I've failed.
Yeah.
I'm delusional about my perfect relationship because I've been in multiple that have failed. I'm delusional about work that I complete because I've failed at completing work. So when I have like excessive standards for things, it's because I know the other side. For me, it's either great or terrible. There's no like. Yeah. I don't like settling. As soon as I feel like I've settled for a piece of work, settled on a when you come out of a meeting or you've like just spoke to a potential client and you just think I was fucking not good. That was shit. I could have done that better. I knew I should have said that at the time. I knew that bothered him. I didn't say anything. And you just come out and you think pointless, deflated. I hate it. So now everything I do is like Josie just fits into that, where it's like, oh shit, my delusional. She met the delusional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. Yeah, because like something I found, coming out of a major relationship and likewise in business now, the way my mindset's changed is I have non-negotiables. Yeah, so it's like what you're saying. You've learned from what you've failed, whether that's a relationship, businesses, or whatever. So you've learned key things from that. I do not fucking want this. Like there's certain things I won't compromise on. Relationship is all about compromise. It is for everybody. Yeah, but they're for you as a person. There've got to be certain things that you will not compromise. You might not like smoking or whatever. I will never marry a smoker. All this sort of stuff. And I do that the same in business. If a client is not willing or prepared to pay a fucking deposit, there's probably a reason for that. So I'm going to walk well the fuck away from it. Just little things like that. So yeah, I think having like as a 32-year-old man navigating new relationships and whatever else, there are certain things. It's not so much about what I'm looking for, but more a case of what I don't want. I know those things.
Yeah, such a good point. I always say
start there. You'd be better.
I've said to people all the time, start with what you don't want. Stop
100%.
trying to tell me what you want because you don't even know what you want because you don't know. Like, just tell me now the exact version of you don't want to be, and then we'll work on that.
Yeah, but you can grow as a couple, and that what you do want can change massively. Like you said, suddenly you think, fucking actually, maybe I will have kids. Maybe I will get married. What you do want can change massively, but what you don't want is a fixed thing. Yeah, and it should stay a fixed thing.
Because that comes from pain.
Of your bad experience. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And it doesn't align with your values and your vision of where you want to go.
And as soon as you start compromising your integrity for someone else, you're fucked.
Absolutely.
Like, it's over.
Yeah, because it's like a crumbling wall at that point, isn't it? Once you take a couple of bricks out, things just start collapsing.
Nothing's real then.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be able to preempt though with just to come back because the delusion is fine when it's being met. But you have to face it like this honeymoon probably come. I don't want to call it into existence, but nature's law. You're going to have moments when you're going to hate each other. Maybe not hate each other, but really piss. You're going to piss each other off.
Yeah, I know. But the
you haven't had that yet. So that's what I'm saying.
But the point is like you work out the person you're willing to walk down that road with.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You don't because a lot of people you think like they can say the slightest thing and you just think I hate you. I hate everything about you. I literally hate you. Why am I here?
I've got people in my life like that.
But you just think like, oh my god, just shut up. Like, why are you? Shut up.
There are people. I know people that
you know what I mean?
for no logical reason. Like, I just hate.
Yeah, just like I can't deal with you.
Probably because of one thing they've said or done, and I admit that's it. That is my judgment on that person.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like that. And the thing is, I'm not an easy person to go out with. I'm all over the place all the time.
Yeah, go out with.
I'm just
to work with, to
fucking. But I was a celibate for a year.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
By choice,
yeah. I tell people by choice. But it was intentional because I did think like it was intentional, but then I didn't get any requests, so I thought, But it was literally to be like, fuck me, I can't process other people.
Yeah,
this
a lot
year.
of people do that actually.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't deal with other people for a year. It was mental.
Yeah.
Because that was when our business started. Well, my company then started fucking tanking bad. It was awful. Had no money in that. We had nothing. We had no money to buy anything with, no time and no clients. So it was just, it fell apart quick. But we brought it back. But in that year, I needed genuinely like monk mode. You know, people say that like monk mode, where you just like
lock in.
Whoa! Like every scrap of energy I had to go on to fixing this problem. And then I came out of that like, okay, cool. I've got a different framework for thinking about relationships now. So yeah, it was fuck. But yeah, I needed that year. You know what I mean? And I do. Yeah, you are right. I guarantee there'll be hundreds of times where I'm like, I'm gonna kill her to death.
To death.
But that's okay. That's fine. I can deal with that.
As long as you don't act on it, you're good. But your delusion does, and I think my next question for you, Theo, was about, you said earlier, you saw your North Star now. In what is the end? We've all got to have sort of like the mountain we're working towards, but you realise you're going to just enjoy these. Naval Ravikant, another guy, he talks about how he wished he went back and just did things with less anger and less frustration, and it's all about growth.
Yeah. Yeah,
And just enjoy, you know.
I'm just, for me now, it's more about like, you know, my business is in a pretty good place. My name carries a little bit of weight, and actually
Until now with this podcast.
yeah, it's all gone downhill. Fuck.
Milwaukee ring you. Forget it, son. Beep.
I'm just. It sounds really fucking gay and like cliche, but I'm just like striving for happiness because I've not had that for so long, and like I want to do things that make me happy, and be around people that make me happy, and like that's all I really care about.
What does make you happy?
I think just something I've like, because I didn't have it for a long time, but just being around people that I enjoy being around. Because I worked myself to death. I just almost cut everybody out of my life. Not intentionally.
It's a lonely place, that.
Yeah, so lonely. It was work all the time. And you know, I've been very lucky that a lot of these people have been very accepting and have sort of
back in.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally. And I'm sort of trying to reintegrate myself back into their lives, and and it's crazy because they're, like I said, they're getting married and they're having kids now, and it's just like, holy shit, this is just like a whirlwind for all of you, and I'm just watching from the sidelines, like been there, done that, and yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I just want to, like I went on my first solo holiday last year, and you know, it's just a Tenerife. I booked it last minute. It was like a proper fuck it moment. I'm gonna do it, and it was great. I was really apprehensive about it because I've always been on holidays either with my twin brother or my family, my wife and my daughter, and so it was such a like foreign concept for me to go and do something for myself. To be honest, like 10 years I've not done anything for myself. Like people would say the business is for yourself. It's not. It wasn't really. I was trying to build something for them as well, you know, so they could enjoy life and have things and whatever else. But yeah, so yeah, just do things that I enjoy. Like I love going out hiking and walking. I love that. Escaping, just getting away. The gym. I love going to the gym.
We're gonna have to do one of those together because I want like a hike, maybe abroad somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when you get to our age as well, all your mates, like most people, are working in 9 to 5, so they've got limited holiday, and I want to make the most of our, call it freedom, but being able to do this today, but then we work until 12 tonight. But that's the freedom you get. You go on holiday with the lads that are in the similar sort of position.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Quite hard
I want to do one this year. I was hoping to go over to Croatia, and there's some amazing walks you can do over there. And,
Split,
and then go to like Slovenia, and it's beautiful. It's like just absolutely stunning. So I really want to do that. Just spending more time with people that.
It's good energy.
Yeah, good energy, and make me happy. You know, because I feel like I've lost so much of myself and my time, and I'm slowly getting that back now. Like it sounds really stupid, but
it sounds simple, doesn't it? It's
I came out of my marriage and I was like, I don't really know who I am or what I like, or like what I want to do.
If someone says, Theo, what's your favourite? Who are you? And you just go, I like electrical work.
Yeah, I love my job. Yeah, but that's because that's became who I was.
Yeah, you're not
like
just that.
100% through and through. That was who I was. Everybody who knew me knew I was a complete workaholic, and I didn't really have time for anything else in my life. You know, for just for me. Obviously, I made the family time, but other than that, it was just work all the time. And it's crazy. So yeah, I'm learning to enjoy different things, which is really strange.
But it sounds simple, like you say. The more you think about it, you go, people watching like, mate, just go on holiday, like stop being. But when you're wired like you are, and then you've had all that, it was kind of good though in a way that you might not have got to this point where you're getting the brand deals and building up because you were doing it for someone else. Yeah. When you're ruminating about your own problems, your own, goals and achieving this and where am I heading? It's all about me. So you need to have, like we said it a number of times, but big goals that you grow into, but also with people you've got to serve. Like we're doing this all for other people. You're doing it for your daughter. That's the biggest reason you'll ever have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's from the outside to other people, it might look like you're being selfish, but when you're in that position, you don't see it that way. You're trying to build something. Like I said, I had so many people telling me all the time, they're like, you need to stop. You need to spend time with your daughter more. You need to do this, and it's like, it's fucking hard at the same time.
Can I ask you, were those people that were saying that, were they in a similar position to you? Were they in their own business?
No, those were always people who were in the 9 to 5. Yeah.
I never listen to anyone's advice.
No.
And never, ever, because fucking I wouldn't go to them. There's an old rule I do live by, which is don't accept criticism from someone you wouldn't go to advice for.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't ring you for advice, I won't accept any criticism from you.
Yeah,
Cause
that's
I
fair.
just don't fucking value.
Because
it.
they mean it.
value.
They mean it. They've got good intent for what they're saying, but
Yeah.
they're not actually. They're not. They're living their own life, but they haven't been where you're
They're
going.
not built to back it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people, they love to give everyone wants opinion on everything these days.
Yeah.
You know, I could say to you now, what's your views on everything going on in the UK economy and the politics and I don't know, and then Trump, everyone's talking about Greenland and then Venezuela and then Iran and all these horrible things going on in the world. But there is almost, we were talking about that last time, it's like you can't care too much on what's going on, you know, thousands of miles away because we can barely look after ourselves and the people closest to us. You know, I think that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's, a lot of people are too busy trying to look at the big picture and they're not looking at what's going on at home, are they? Like you say.
Yeah.
You know, I probably wasn't. I was caught up in so many other big things that, you know, the little things that should really matter, I didn't pay enough attention to. And,
So I guess you've got your, tidy little business running over now and you've got the brand deals coming in. What's the next 5 to 10 years look like for you? It's going in the right direction,
Do you
isn't
have
it?
goals? Are you a goal orientated?
No, I'm not. No, not. I used to be. 100% used to be. I wanted to grow, become, you know, Theo Webster, the guy in the Southwest to go to for your electrical work. That's what I always wanted. And now I just go with the flow. I really do. Like, I love the last 12 months has been fucking amazing. Like, I'm so fluid with like my work and all that, and it's been amazing. I just work with cool fucking people. I do amazing cool jobs, and like the whole brand deal things and going off and doing photo shoot for a brand, and I fucking love it. It's so cool. I look back and if I could go and tell a 22-year-old myself that I'd be doing this, like, you wouldn't believe it. You know,
you'd get divorced immediately.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
You'd ring Milwaukee and say, "I'm going to save you 10 years."
Yeah, let's just cut the chase.
Yeah. Give it to me.
But yeah, no, I like with the whole social media thing. I want to increase that this year, like, quite significantly, and become more of a face in the construction industry. And I'd like to do that. It's not for vanity and all that sort of stuff. It's because I genuinely think I'm very good at my job and I'm very passionate about the industry. So I think I'm a good person to go into that role. You know, some people land there, but they're purely because of financial reasons. They want to get there because it's all about money. But I'm not so much chasing the money. I just want to be there because
I feel like you got something to give.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I feel like I've got something to give, to be honest. Yeah,
You could teach the next lot coming through.
yeah.
Because what would you choose now if you were like 18 looking at? Would you obviously do the same thing?
Or would you?
Or would you actually?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was there anything? Was there any point, any other thing that it was like, right, sparky work or not? Was it like, or were you always just like bang?
I think, like with electrical, you're probably 80 to 90% of what you're doing is never seen again. You know, you come in here, and you see a light fitting or a socket. Yeah, all the hard work is hidden. So I think I quite would have liked to have been a carpenter because everything is there.
Yeah, very tangible.
Very,
isn't it?
yeah, and it's proper job satisfaction that you can walk away and be like, I fucking built something. Like, I've really made something and like made a difference to something, you know. So I think if I would do something different, it would be that. Yeah. So still in the construction industry, but even that, you just go completely outlandish and be like, I'd be a pilot,
Be a lawyer.
but my eyesight ain't nearly good enough, so that was never going to happen. But yeah.
I couldn't imagine you sat down all day.
Nah, I fucking
Like-
hate it. I can't
like-
sit still. Yeah. They reckon everybody in construction's either got like ADHD or autism in some way or another. We're all a bit we're all a bit special, and just, you know, that's why we end up where we are, because we can't sit still and we can't do this, and, you know, we like working with our hands and so.
But it's a strength, and you lean into it. Where I mean, you can either use that stuff, you know, your shortcomings. You can focus on all the stuff you haven't got, or this is too big, this is too small, whatever it might fucking be. But you just focus on, like, what am I actually good at? Let me try and lean into that shit. Then try loads of things, and then just thankfully you love something. It's quite rare, Theo, isn't it?
I think so.
You know?
Oh, so many, like, but even in my industry, like, everyone just fucking complains about it,
Really?
and I'm like, yeah, but I genuinely think I've learned to love what I do. Like, I never used to love it when I was employed. I fucking hated it.
See, that's a very interesting different.
But I think like now, since doing it for myself, and particularly now where I've got an element of like choice about what I do, I truly, truly love it. I love going to work and I love doing what I'm doing, and I like the diversity of it. But yeah, when I like the first 4 years of my apprenticeship, I worked with some great guys, but I don't know, it was hard, you know, to stay there and stick with it at points. I almost gave up several times. Even being self-employed, to be honest, while I've been self-employed, I've almost given up loads of times because it gets really tough. But yeah, I think, you know, it's the same. Here we go. We got like depression for me. Sometimes it's chemical, yeah, in people, but a lot of the time it's situational. Fucking get yourself out of that situation. If you know what the fucking problem is, fucking get away from it. But too many people just stay there. You know, I hate my job. It's so fucking depressing. Well, fucking go and get another one.
Yeah.
All right? Stop just fucking moaning about it and making everyone else's day shit. All right? Like, you know, or
finally, someone that just says it how it is.
You know, yeah, marriages or whatever, anything like that. If it's a problem, fucking leave or do something about it. Like, we all just fucking complain about it. And like, because I'm like I said, unless you are genuinely at the point where, you know, it is chemical and you depression it's in you, yeah. Medication is the only way, and therapy and whatever else. But situational stuff, that's you. You're the one choosing to fucking stay there.
Yep.
Fucking just.
It's a victim mentality.
Yeah,
that
literally.
people adopt, and it gets you nowhere, does it?
I think those are the sort of people that
it's a great point.
They want. the depression is a safe space. So the situation isn't the problem.
Well, you know where you're at.
Yeah. They find, you know, they say when you sit with anything long enough, you begin to love it, even if it's bad for you.
So my marriage, as an example, was incredibly toxic and everything else, and you know, it was safe. And that's like when we separated, I for about 3 months suffered from panic attacks because suddenly my life was so unknown. I didn't know what was going to be happening.
Let's start again.
Yeah, it is.
It was crazy. It was like a real world. Like I wouldn't say I was depressed because I'm not really that kind of person. I don't let things get to me in that way. I just deal with things in my own way. I would never say I was depressed, but I knew I was unhappy. But yeah, the whole panic attack thing was like, I couldn't explain it at first. I didn't realise why it was happening. Like, it was just so unlike anything that had ever happened to me before in my entire life. And then, yeah, I sort of slowly became aware that it was because, like, I knew, even though I wasn't happy, I knew what my next 10, 20 years looked like. And suddenly now I just didn't have a fucking clue what was going to happen, you know. Am I going to meet someone else? Am I going to see my daughter? Is my business going to get fucked up? And
your brain goes to the negative.
Yeah, every time, yeah. It's hard to see the positives, yeah. And I eventually got there, yeah. So.
But you did the work. You didn't get therapy. You didn't get any, no?
No, I just sort of dealt with that like box breathing. That friend of mine spoke to me about it, and I sort of did a bit of research on it, and yeah, just worked through it. So yeah, just stopped though after a period of time. Once I realised, you know, at that point I'd started seeing friends again and everything else, and I'm like, oh shit, this isn't all bad actually. Yeah, all right, something really shit has happened, but something really positive can come out of this. This isn't the end. This is the start of something different.
Yes,
that's all it is. You know, so yeah.
And what about the new possibilities?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you it's reframing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's that like, hold on, I don't know whether it's finding someone, meeting a person.
Yeah.
Going out with your daughter, new work relationships. It's all new possibilities versus the shit, what am I going to do with my life now? I think if you ask the right questions a lot of the time, you know, I did a big thing because various things went through. Then the victim, it serves you for a while. You know, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? It's like, no, stop. Like, what did I do to attract this into my life?
Yeah.
We all make decisions. We've got friends at the moment that are, whether it's in serious debt or, like you say, in bad relationships. You know it, you can feel it, but the comfort you'll find any justifications to stay where you are. Yeah, because the comfort wraps you in.
Yeah.
Well, they say when the fear of the pain of staying where you are becomes less than the fear of change, that's when the adaptation happens. And for most people, it takes full-blown extremes because everyone has a different threshold to change their circumstance, don't they? So for those people you said on site, they're just moaning. It's like, yeah. But then there's no real that's not that much pain. They're just moaning. You know what I mean? But it's like,
Yeah.
okay, hang on, give that guy pancreatic cancer. Maybe then something changes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But for
sure,
everyone,
yeah.
that like scale is so different. And I just feel like some people are wired to not wait for it to get to that point.
Yeah.
And they're always just like, I know some people who are literally just like, bang, I'm there, and then I'm going to do that, and that's great. But I know some people that I genuinely think they would rather die than change.
Yeah.
Like, and even though it's bad where they are. So it is interesting, isn't it, how different people, and you'll never get through to some people.
No.
Some people you never get through. You're like, it doesn't matter how good, like, you know, things could be for them. They just like being miserable too much.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I think that's probably one of the reasons, in some respect, why my business did well from the get-go, is because I was leaving a good position. I was actually in a job where I was probably quite happy, to be honest. Like, all the people I worked with in the second company I worked for, it was great. I loved it. I loved going to work there, and it was a good group of people. The work we did was interesting and different every day, and perhaps that's why I was so ambitious. I knew what was available, what I could achieve, because of these other good people around me. Like I say, it's all about surrounding yourself with good people, isn't it?
Mm.
And that probably put me in a positive place where I knew actually I can do this, and
They say you're the average of your closest 5 people to you.
yeah.
And if you surround yourself with, I don't know, you know, what do you call them? Losers, really. You know, it'd be a bit harsh, but it's a shame because, you know, some of your friends or people you connect with along the way, you might get on like a house on fire, and like it serves you in that certain time in your life. You know, we said the last one, love gaming. You know, I met some friends just through gaming, but is that going to serve you in the long run? No, and it's like, why do we all have to escape, Theo?
Yeah.
You know, we're all trying to escape now, and I guess my question to you as well with a daughter is, you know, you're using social media now as a tool. I don't believe that you're probably spending 5 hours scrolling because you're doing some lecky work. You haven't got time. A lot of people are watching this, maybe clip on the clips we're going to put out, and they're doom scrolling. We've heard it all. And then you've got Australia banning, I think Spain's just introduced, they're banning social media for 16, people under 16. They're banning it now.
Yeah.
How do you compete with that with your daughter? Have you noticed things, because you're obviously using it as a tool, but at that age, it's frying their brain.
Yeah, it is. It's very easy to just chuck an iPad or a phone in front of your kid, and it keeps them occupied so you can get on it. Because we've all got busy lives, you know, but the housework still needs to get done. And you need to spend time with your partner and whatever else. It's very easy to just go, oh, yeah, sweetheart, chuck it down your iPad and go and watch Peppa Pig for 2 hours. But it's not going to do them any good. Don't get me wrong, there are certain things on there that aren't going to hurt them. They can learn a lot from YouTube and things like that, watching stuff, you know. But yeah, it's an interesting.
Social media is a different one, though, isn't it?
It is.
Social media is a whole different beast.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because like YouTube's one thing, but like the dangerous thing with social media is you're just getting like the whole world piped into your head continuously. Like you just can't. There's no stopping it. It's just there all the time.
It drives the wrong behaviours to a degree. A lot of people, you know, you're using it as something which is useful, aligned with your business, your integrity, your values, what you're interested in. People will just go through the street and try and find a clip, you know, filming a homeless guy or filming, you know, to look as if they're worldly and good people. Nothing is real online, but everyone thinks it's like gospel. And you'll probably know this because as I started working in digital marketing and doing things with certain people and meeting influencer style people, when you get behind the curtain, I would say my gut feel was 6 to 7 out of 10, like influence or like relationships, like where they're really publicized. It is probably a nightmare at home.
Oh, probably.
Or there's 30% of it's not real. You know,
totally. Yeah, but it is. I mean, you know, you use like the Kardashians as a prime example of that. You know, it's all fake. You know, it's all for show. It's dramatized. You know, it's all. That's just how it is. And likewise, I mean, you know, obviously I'm an individual doing what I'm doing, but if it was a relationship, as a couple, you've created this persona online, fucking hell, that's like a lot to keep up. And in reality, like you said, what they're putting out is probably very different to what the home life and the reality of it actually is. Yeah. And it is smoke and mirrors. A lot of social media is smoke and mirrors.
There was literally a major bust in America of this woman that was abusing kids who had like She had like
Was that in Arizona?
she had like a wellness thing for
Yeah.
families, and she was like teaching people how to raise kids, and then got raided for abusing, like chaining
What?
kids to walls and shit. And it was all just because like she'd
Crazy.
lived in this like mega mansion, and she had this like cult following. And what it turns out what she was doing was basically people would pay her, like a couple would come in and pay her like 50 grand to help them like fix her family, and she'd go, okay, leave the kids with me for a week.
Fucking hell.
And then she'd just be like abusing kids, and then it was like, oh, people were going, I just can't believe it, no one saw the signs. It's like, what are you on about? She was literally telling you that food is dangerous for kids because it gives them too much like entitlement. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
I think what's more scary isn't her.
Mm.
It's often not the Epstein, for example, that's come out now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not necessarily those people that are the scariest. It's the indoctrination
Mhm.
of the average human being, because the average person is thick as shit.
Yeah, it's true.
And
yeah.
and you know, and we're all thick to a degree on certain things, but again, you start to notice this as you get older and see how people are influenced in their
Yeah.
worldview. And you go,
Yeah.
you probably want to get outside.
Yeah,
You know, when
Yeah.
you're fixed, and when people can't admit they're wrong, and you've had clients where they'll double down, but they're like, that's one thing that shocks me. I think, and Gad Sad, he's a Montreal psychotherapist or therapist. He said that after 35 years of studying people, the one thing that just surprised me and kind of get disappointed is that no matter if you have 5-6 new bits of data and information which is factual,
yeah,
the person will double down.
yeah.
That's a bit worrying, isn't it?
It is really. It is. But how do you get past that?
I don't even bother.
I
don't even fucking bother, mate. I don't even bother. I just go, yeah, you're right. I go, yeah, you're so right. Yeah, no, he did do that, yeah. And then
But
just
it's
walk
okay
away.
until you have like the people that were going to this lady paying 50, and I saw one of the clips where there's this couple and they said, yeah, we paid her 50,000. We didn't have the money. We found it.
What the fuck?
How are you not how you not what I don't understand how you get to that point where you're not addressing it yourself. You are getting
Paying
help
someone
and
else
then paying
to do
someone, you don't have the money. You're going into debt because this person's this, or they got all the answers.
It's just a testament to charisma. Like anyone that has ever run a cult just only had one thing, which was charisma. Charisma will make people do anything.
And
Like they'll make people believe anything. You can make someone believe anything you want if you were if you were just charismatic enough and spoke to them at the right time, timed it perfectly.
There's no doubt, actually, you're right, because no doubt we probably had thoughts if we came together and we do a trading thing, right? And I thought, I did when I was in my early 20s. I'm sure you might have done this, seen all the get rich quick scheme stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried a few, like Ty Lopez, get rich and you get like, and I make $4,000 here and sort of $2,000 there, whatever. And you go through it and you go, fuck, they're like, the average person is going to be successful off this. And you're like, no, I didn't have the skill set whatsoever. But yeah, it does make you, the way the world's ran now and they've made money so important. Well, it always has been, but now it's even more that
More
people
than
are
ever.
falling for the grifters come out because, people are desperado.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. I think you go back to like our parents' generation, I think things were just a bit easier. You could
definitely simpler, weren't they? Yeah.
actively afford to buy a house.
Yeah,
And
3 times your income, something like that, 3 or 4 times. Yeah,
Whereas now it's significantly more than that. It's crazy.
like 10, minimum 10. Yeah,
It is mad. So yeah, things are so much harder. And again, like going back to our earlier conversation about advice given to people going self-employed is like you need to think about all these things. You need to think about buying a house, having kids, and all these things before you bite that bullet, because it's all going to have a financial impact on you. It's all well and good saying like you're ready as a couple, but financially, are you stable enough to do that? And like I said, I don't think anyone's ever really ready to have kids and all that sort of stuff. But like you want to give yourself a best shot possible. So which I wasn't lucky enough to have that luxury. It just was thrust upon me or her.
but you got on with it and you made the most of it, and now you're.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your relationship like with money? Being self-employed for 10 years. Let's find out. So you're earning these big bucks. How are you spending it?
I'm quite free with money, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think it will come back?
But that's the thing though. I'm in a position where everyone's always going to need an electrician.
Yeah, even more so with the AI data centers.
I'm pretty secure in my job, I like to think, and I can always make more money. So yeah, I do things that I want to do. And if I want something, I'll buy it. And which might sound like a fucking bellend saying that, but that's just
you
how I
work
live
hard.
my life. I do, yeah. I enjoy things because, like I said, I didn't for so long, and I'm in a different time in my life, and I just think, fuck it.
Do you save? Have you sort of saved in the past and invested a little bit?
I always have saved, yeah. So I've got money put aside, but it doesn't really bother me. I'm not that phased by it. I'm not like actively
You can refreshing your bank account every 10 minutes to be like,
No.
where are we?
no.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about money like that. You know, it's nice to have.
Bit of
But-
security. It's nice to know if things went tits up.
Yeah, totally.
Got a bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
And not doing rush decisions.
Yeah, and having that,
Yeah.
I know that I could, if I had no work for fucking 4 months or whatever, I'm still very comfortable that it's not going to be a major fucking problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's nice to be in that position, having come, from being 22 years old, where I'm thinking, shit, what am I doing tomorrow? I got to pay for my freaking
That's an
van
anxiety.
insurance or
Yeah.
whatever. Just little things like that. It's crazy being at that point in your life where, like you said, if you've been in debt at some point, it's hard. It's fucking really hard. When I got took for all that money, like that was like a real wake up moment. Because I was like, all the guys that worked for me, I'd treat them to a Five Guys every Friday. 13 people having a Five Guys, you're like 300 quid in on a Friday.
Still, yeah, it's gone. The money's gone. Mate.
And but I truly believe in valuing people. And little things like that make a big difference.
They might do that extra hour for you on a Friday night.
Yeah, it does. Or they're more productive because they're fucking happy where they're working.
Yeah, they respect you.
Yeah, totally. Little things like that, and like they're always paid well. And just I'm like just look after people in little ways. It makes a big difference, I think. But probably didn't help quite so much when I was in my financial situation that I got into. It was like, fucking hell, I can't be doing that
Guys,
anymore.
remember all those Five Guys?
Yeah.
Well, it was 18 quid each.
It's time to
so
pay the
times,
piper.
times 26. So, yeah.
It's now Poundland territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. But
there's a lot to be said for that because people do scrimp. Even businesses that scale and they get, even if they're in the multi-millions and everything is like hard work, they don't really treat their employees, and I think you'd rather give back because it does come back.
I think so. Like, I just think about like the first company I was at. I never felt like I was really appreciated. And all right, I was an apprentice, but you still need to value everybody. Everyone brings something to the table, else they wouldn't fucking be there. I think, and if they don't, then eventually they're going to get found out and they'll be gone.
Yeah.
So I think you should just value everybody in one way or another, and just like know people on a personal level as well. Like some people are so scared about getting too close to employees and things like that. And you need to maintain like a business relationship, but you need to know people personally so you can be there if shit's not right for someone.
Yeah.
And like,
and what's their personality or what's their why? Because then you can align their role
totally.
in a way which is going to get the best for everyone.
Yeah.
Best return.
Yeah. So it's like,
not to think of people like you've got to get a return on them, but ultimately we're in
do.
a capitalist, start business. People got to pull
Well,
their
also,
weight.
it helps you tailor opportunities to specific people.
Yeah.
And it gives you a heads up. If someone's why is, I really want to work less, but I want to, still be involved in the team, and then a job comes up in your company where someone's going to have to work more, you know who to talk to about that first, don't you? It just helps you as a manager and as an owner to... Is it a limited company now you have, or are you still sole trader?
I stayed as a sole trader, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
interesting.
I'm on my own now.
Yeah.
And I've got a guy who comes in, or a couple of guys come in time to time, just subcontracting, as and when I want them, depending on, I get jobs still where it's like, fucking hell, I can't do that on my own.
Yeah.
And like, it's quite nice to have that working relationship with them as well. Like, we're really good friends with them both. But yeah, I've stuck as a sole trader because I'm a private person as well. Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good having that protection and all that, but I don't know. I like the whole trust thing as well. The buck stops with me. If I'm coming in and doing a job for you, and it goes tits up, I'm personally responsible. I'm not just going to close the company down and fucking disappear. I'm here.
And actually, you probably win a lot of work because of that, don't you? Even that.
I do.
Small
Well,
thing. Yeah.
It's never been a problem. It's and I'm happy. Yeah, I probably pay more in tax, but oh well.
That's your way of giving back, supporting the.
Yeah, that's the one.
Supporting all the.
Right, lads. That's